Meta is reportedly working on a code generating bots that supposedly will compete with the likes of OpenAI, Google, and the other major tech giants. And they're calling this, at least for now, Code LlaMA, which is based off of their recently announced LLM Llama 2. This all according to Gizmodo. So let's go ahead and deep dive into the details. So as of right now, this information, according to the information, is from some anonymous sources that have direct knowledge of the AI, supposedly called Code LlaMA, that is going to be open source and, the best part, free online, which is one of the strategies Facebook has been doing, at least as of right now, that's competing with the other likes of its competitors, such as OpenAI and Google, etc., you name it. And open source essentially means you can see the code on public GitHub and people can see exactly what's going on, so there's no shadiness, there's no hidden features, and it's all fully transparent. And especially in the AI space, that is the biggest thing. Now, in terms of when is this going to be out, they state that it could be as soon as next week. So if you're watching this many weeks from now, then probably you've already seen it. And as of this current announcement, this is the start of the revolution, especially for programmers, developers, and the future of the upcoming technology for the next few years. So if you are not familiar, ChatGPT, Google Bard, Claude, they all can utilize code in some sort of fashion. However, some of them are less accurate and others, maybe for basic tasks, are pretty good. But as of right now, it is not something that could fully fledged replace any sort of developer or someone with any sort of technical knowledge in programming. It's not that level yet. So just comparing it to the current competition. So OpenAI did have the code interpreter plugin, which I have myself tested out, and it's okay. It's not obviously the best, greatest thing ever, but it's a start. And I'm sure in the next few months, if not years, it can be significantly better. And also Microsoft has Codex powered AI installed in its GitHub repository, and apparently a lot of programmers are already using this AI in their coding activities. And even Google Bard, you can ask it some questions for coding. So for example, write code to make an app in Python, and we'll just keep it like this, and I'll just show you some quick examples. And if you were to do the exact same prompt in ChatGPT, Claude, even in Microsoft Bing's chat, you probably will get a similar, if not somewhat accurate answer for the basic questions like this. But for something more complex, like a full stack application, you probably won't be able to get everything in one response. But here, this is pretty basic, and this does replace Stack Overflow for at least simple questions. And if you're not familiar with this website, Stack Overflow, it's essentially a form that programmers use to ask help and pretty much help them fix their bugs in their code if they cannot figure it out. And even looking back just a few months ago, according to TechCrunch, Meta even talks about a product they call Code Compose, which essentially is a code tool that can have suggestions for languages such as Python and help out with your development environments utilizing things such as VS Code, which is one of the most popular code editors that a lot of programmers are using today. And essentially this model is built on top of public research from Meta that they've turned in for internal use cases and code bases. And essentially, at least from the track record right now, just based off the recent information, it looks like Meta, aka Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, has been putting a lot of emphasis on improving the overall coding experience and helping it to make developers' lives much easier and potentially make developers create much better, faster products, and who knows what could we end up making in the next few years. Now, bringing up programming coding, some of you guys might not even know what that is, nor could you care about that. And sure, totally understand, can be super boring for some people while others completely love it. The one thing is, according to IBM's study, is current jobs are currently being replaced right now. Coding is one of those industries that if you were to ask many people 2 years ago in terms of safety, they would have probably said this is probably the most lucrative and one of the jobs where you could scale up and make a good amount of income, while also having quite good job security due to the high barriers of entry and essentially having to know very complicated problems and coding languages. But after all these AI tools have been announced, it feels like coding is definitely not at that same level it was just a few years ago. And look at this, the global skills gap is real and growing, and this is directly from IBM blog, and they state that at least executives survey estimate that 40% of their workforce will need to reskill as a result of implementing AI and automation over the next 3 years, which, according to numbers, translates to 1.4 billion of the 3.4 billion people in the current workforce, according to the World Bank statistics. And essentially, reskill. So aside from coding, what could that be? Excel inputs. Let's talk about accounting, maybe finance. Let's talk about photography, videography, blog, writers. I think any industry that is digital, that is definitely something AI is going to potentially tap into and either replace you completely or make you have to learn these tools in order to do your job. Especially in the tech space for designing artwork, you have AI image generation. It's literally changing the entire world forever. So these are some of the current stats that at least IBM is stating here. And I mean, as of right now, we've seen already automation in literal Walmart stores, grocery stores, checkouts. We have the self-checkout robots. You have in other countries, I'm sure in some cities, obviously in the States, there's restaurants have robot assistants. There's literal things built with wheels that drive around, delivers food, and everything in terms of robotics and AI that could replace a human job. It's coming, and some of it's already here. Now again, the main point is don't be afraid of getting replaced by AI. Essentially, as of right now, it seems that entry-level positions are the ones that are going to be the most effective in terms of the shift. However, the higher level roles seem to be not as affected. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, at least according to their data, it states that you're not essentially going to be replaced. It more means that you're going to be utilizing AI along with your current day-to-day jobs. So essentially, they state here 87% of executives believe employees are most likely to be augmented than replaced. And this varies, 97% of executives think employees in procurement are most likely to be augmented than replaced. And then 93% for employees in risk and compliance, as well as for finance, and then 77 for customer service, with 73 ending off for marketing. But as of right now, again, definitely if your job is in one of these industries where you think you could be replaced, or at least it's online digital, definitely keep an eye out for that. And this again is just some quick updates in the current AI space. So if you want to see the latest updates, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe.